Can you tank it down just a tiny bit?
Yeah. Camera?
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Got something on the table. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Hello, everybody. We are live here for our Westminster Weekly Wake Up Show. And that's what happens on live TV right there, everybody.
The camera just about took off. There's a little knob here. Tighten this here.
Okay, we're working through a few things here, but we almost had a computer just take a dive, but we're good now. So hopefully it'll sturdy up. It's a little bit shaky. That looks good. That looks good. All right. So, all right. This is our weekly wake up show. We do it every Monday at 2:45 or 10:45, sorry, in the morning. And Andy and I are just gonna kind of have a conversation here. We'll update you on some stuff as we go through. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's Monday. I think we're on week 6 of quarantine.
I don't know.
Right?
I'm not gonna be able to know at this point. It's over. The counting is over.
Somebody out there, look up the calendar and figure out how long quarantine's been for us. I think we're at 6, maybe even starting week 7.
Wow.
For society. So I'm doing well considering everything. You know, I'm happy. I think this is a great time to reassess your own sort of individual mentality, refocus yourself, and make sure your priorities are straight. Because if you have good priorities, you can make it through this.
Yeah, definitely.
That's important. That's what my family and I are doing. So my wife is working from home.
Good.
She's in sales.
Good.
As you can imagine, it's very hard to sell things right now.
I can imagine.
So if you want to buy a cruise, I've got a person you can talk to. And so she's just doing phone calls constantly, just calling her travel agents over and over and over.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, Royal Caribbean made job cuts, but she didn't get cut, so that's good. So my wife's at home, and I'm going back to work, and when I go home, she's there.
That's great. That's great.
What about you? How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Pretty good. So, I mean, it's still, same thing as always, just trying to figure out what we can watch or, we play football out in the front yard. Oliver and I played football out in the front yard. So that was good. Saturday, we didn't play very long. He didn't like the heat. So he gets overheated real easily. Him and Chelsea both do. I love the heat, so I get cold easily. I'm wearing a jacket right now. It's 77 or whatever, and I'm wearing a jacket. So
how old is Oliver?
Oliver just turned 9 last week. So yeah, he had a good YouTube virtual birthday. So we just did that. We cooked once. We made and this will be on the cooking show. We made it. It's a recipe that Chelsea invented, and it's probably one of my favorite meals. I don't want to give away everything because it's on the cooking show. So you got to watch Wednesday at 6 o'clock for this week because it's simple. It's 5 ingredients, and it's amazing. So it's pretty awesome.
And when is that again?
That'll be Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
It's our 5th version already. So we're at least at 5 weeks because I have 5 Cooking Chronicle shows out now.
Yep. So probably week 7. Probably
took
2 weeks
it took me a couple weeks to get adjusted. Yeah. So wow, it's crazy. I mean that's most of it. We also made. Didn't put this on the cooking show because I don't want to encourage how unhealthy it is. But our kitchen had a bunch of extra blueberries because some of the local farms have so many extra blueberries, strawberries, and everything. They've been giving them out to people, so we had extra. So the chef had me take home some blueberries, and he recommended a type of cake to make. And this cake, it was more like a custard, and it was just a blueberry almost custard, and it was good, but it definitely wasn't something that I should encourage as far as the health and fitness side. So
tell us about your video you made. Now, Colin, his son had his 9-year-old birthday, and Colin put a lot of work into this video. Colin just said he was doing a virtual birthday. Tell us what that was like. What'd you do?
So what we did was, you can't have a birthday party, can't be around anybody. So I contacted everybody that I could and tried to get them to send me just a video saying happy birthday or doing something creative or unique. that was related to birthdays. And I took those videos, and there was about 40 of them. It was a lot.
How long was it?
20
minutes?
Yeah, 15, 20-minute video. Yeah. Of people just saying happy birthday. Some people sang it. Some people did all kinds of different things. And we really, we put it all together, and I did a lot of special effects. There was some, some comic book stuff, some superhero stuff. There was some sports themed stuff because he's into basketball. And we put it all together with a ton of different special effects. And it really came out amazing. He didn't know he was going to get it. And he watched it live, and a bunch of people were watching him watch it live. So they all got to say happy birthday to him, and he thought he was a star. So, of course, he immediately started twerking and shaking his butt. But if you watch the video, you can see he's been doing that since he was about 1 year old. So
right.
Yeah. But it was great. It turned out, the biggest thing we were worried about was him thinking that he had a non-special birthday because he didn't have any of his friends around. But I think it turned out where when he looks back at it, it'll look just as special as all the other ones.
So you think it was a success?
Oh, definitely.
About how many hours did you put into that video?
I think it was a 10 to 12-hour video.
I think it was long. Because every time I talk to Colin for about 2 weeks, he says, I'm working on the video again.
Yeah. And the hard part was I'm working on it in quarantine with a kid that can't be by himself. So it was like, knock on the door, like, what are you doing? I'm in my bedroom, trying to do it. Yeah, that's the worst part because, Chelsea's at home all day with him. So when I get home, I'm usually going home to be with him to give Chelsea a break because he's just a very social character. He's not a kid that goes in and just plays with Legos and builds something, right? He'll play with Legos, but only if you're sitting there right next to him, right? So that was the hard part was that trying to distance myself with him since I've already been gone all day. But we got through it, and it's good. So we're doing good. And the other thing we did this week is I think we're going to build a whole front porch, like kind of a wooden deck kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
We're going to really do it up. And so we designed that a little bit. Chelsea loves projects. She has to have a project to be entertained. So she's excited about it.
Now, Chelsea has built plenty of things before, right? Yeah,
plenty of things. So she built outside. She just built this kind of enclosure along the side that gives us just kind of some extra storage room. It's kind of a screened-in enclosure, and she built it herself. She fixed our refrigerator by hand. She took apart the whole motor and put it back together. So she loves to tinker with things. Last week, this is weird. Okay, so we had carpet in our room, and she had uninstalled that carpet and put some laminate down, right? So we had carpet in the 2 other bedrooms. There was a tiny little worm in Oliver's room in the carpet. She can't touch anything squirmy. So I come home, I get the worm out of the carpet. The next day, she peels up that carpet. She's pregnant, 7.5 months pregnant, by the way. She peels up the carpet, and then the next day after that, she lays the laminate down. 2 days, and she was done. And we had a whole new floor. That's what you get when you're quarantined and you're a project doer. Right?
And she'd never done that before?
She had done it in our room, so she had learned. It took her about a week when she did it for our room.
Right.
But once she, now that she's done it, I was like, what? She wanted to make sure there were no worms underneath the carpet, and there weren't. There was one worm in the whole house. Somebody tracked it on.
He probably brought it in.
Yeah, exactly. It was probably on his shoe. But yeah, she was worried the whole thing was infested. There was no other worms, and we just put that. Yeah, so but it's better anyway. It's we can keep the floors a lot cleaner with the laminate.
2 things. 1, I think you have a keeper. 2, I want you to tell her I found a worm on my carpet.
Okay.
So she'll come and change mine.
Yeah, come through.
Well, for this weekend, what we did, my wife and I, we have been having neighborhood movie nights.
Great.
So we have been taking a projector that we have at home, and we've been projecting a movie onto our garage door. And so our neighbors can come into their yards, in the corner of their yards, and we turn the sound way up. And some people watch from across the street, some people sit in the driveway, some people sit in the grass, and we're all plenty of feet apart, way more than 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And we watch a movie.
That's awesome.
We've been doing it every Saturday night. We did the first one, and people liked it a lot.
So what'd you watch?
Well, the first one, I think we talked about it on the morning show. The first one we watched Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Which is the Bill Murray movie where things repeat over and over and over. And then last week we watched the Disney Pixar movie Up.
Nice. It's a good one.
And then 2 days ago, we watched The Hunger Games.
Okay.
And we have this very nice Finnish lady who lives across the street from us. Her name is Pirjo. She's a little bit on the elderly side, and she hasn't seen most of the movies. And it was funny. She said The Hunger Games was a little too violent for her.
Oh, nice. Wow,
so she approved of the other two. So next week, we're going to watch Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's so funny. I wanted to watch Mrs. Doubtfire yesterday, and Chelsea said no. She didn't want to watch anything she'd already seen, so we didn't get to see it. But I love Mrs. Doubtfire.
So now the neighbors come over on Saturday evenings without even us having to ask them. They just show up with their drinks and their own individual bags of popcorn, their coolers and their chairs, and they say, "Okay, what are we watching?"
Yeah.
And it's a fun little party. It's a great way to still connect and build those relationships. Similar to happy hour we did on Friday. So on Friday, we went happy hour between the buildings, and we were able to get the neighbors to wave at each other from the doors.
That's great.
And we did a toast on each floor. So
Good.
everybody got to stick their head out of their doors and raise their glass to help to everybody else on their floors.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Good.
We had a good time, man.
Good.
Kenny was talking this morning. He was saying that he might keep doing it.
Wow. That'd be great.
It would be nice.
Yeah, I hope so.
And we had sports over the weekend.
Yes. What sport?
The draft.
Yes, the NFL draft.
The NFL draft.
The virtual NFL draft.
The virtual NFL draft. Colin is not as big a football fan as you're a basketball fan.
Yeah, yes. Not as big of a basketball fan, but I paid attention to the draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 3 days the draft was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Was that what it was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So were you happy with the draft?
Yes, I thought it was quite interesting. I think that I hate the analysis because they're always wrong. Like, Mel Kiper gets paid all this money, and if you go back and it's just like the winner of the draft was the team that goes 0-16, like whatever. So I think the analysis is just silly. But I love watching the draft. I love watching it. I thought that the most interesting pick was the what's his name? His name's CD. I can't remember his last name. He's a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. They picked him, and I just thought that was interesting because their defense was so horrible, and they already had a good offense, and they picked a wide receiver.
Jerry Jones picked a wide receiver.
Yes, exactly. Jerry Jones.
He does what he wants.
Flash over substance like he normally does.
Yeah.
So
that's why they can't put together a winning season, or they haven't done it in 20 years.
Yeah.
They haven't won the Super Bowl. They put together winning seasons, but they haven't done very well in the long run. Who's your favorite team?
My favorite team is the Colts, and I think that they did well. The Colts are run really, really well. I mean, so to be able to lose Andrew Luck and to come back with the season that they had was still, not playoff season, but still a good team. So I think they'll be, and I think they did good in the draft. So I think they'll do all right.
You guys took a quarterback, didn't you?
Yep.
Did you take Eason?
I can't remember.
I think in the 5th round, you might have taken Eason from Washington.
Okay.
I believe he went to Indianapolis.
I know we took a quarterback, and that was a good idea because we'll probably won't have Rivers longer than a year or two.
Or maybe you took one of the other guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, no. Yeah, it could have been Eason, I guess.
Okay.
So, of course, my team is Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. I love the Falcons. Falcons did really well. We took all defensive players.
Great.
And Tampa Bay, of course, took an offensive lineman with their first-round draft pick. You got to figure that was written into Tom Brady's deal, right?
Yeah.
He probably said, "I'll come there," but with your first pick, you got to take a new offensive lineman.
Yeah.
When you're 42 and still quarterbacking, you got to do that. So
Absolutely.
Looks like Tampa Bay is in pretty good shape now. And did you see where Jameis Winston went?
No.
So he got signed or is about to get signed in New Orleans.
Wow. So backup.
Yeah. Well, I heard Tampa Bay is really excited because since they're in the same division with Winston now, he'll finally throw some passes
back to Tampa. Yeah. I can see that. And we didn't talk about the Gronkowski signing. That was on Friday, right? Or was it?
It was probably official on Friday. Yeah. So Rob Gronkowski's coming here as well.
Yeah, I think that is so telling about the Patriots. Like, he knew Tom had 1 year left, and he really was fed up with Belichick, and he's just like, no, I don't even care. I don't even care if I can come back for a Super Bowl. I'll take a year off and come back and play with Tom. I love Tom, but I mean, it's obviously at that point it's about fun, right?
Yeah.
So it says a lot about how much fun he was having.
You got to respect a player who makes a decision like that based on his own interest and just wanting to enjoy life.
Yeah.
My favorite players are the ones that like to enjoy life. Like Shaquille O'Neal was that way. No matter what he did, he wanted to have fun. And his game sacrificed because of it. But
for sure.
He's still enjoying life, and I like players.
He's
like
totally
that.
himself.
He is,
I mean, he's just, no matter what, you feel like he's honestly coming through. So, yeah, definitely.
A lot of excitement here in Tampa Bay over the Buccaneers. And with the adding of Gronkowski, now they have too many receivers.
Almost.
They've got 2 Pro Bowlers already. They, I believe they drafted another tight end as well. So I believe they have 3 prominent tight ends.
Yeah.
So they must be thinking about trading one of them.
Must be.
That would probably be the case.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Cameron Braid is their number 1, right?
Yeah.
He's good.
Right.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, forgive me. I don't know that much about the Buccaneers, but you probably don't either. That's okay.
Most people do.
So what's going on for the week ahead? What do we have that the residents need to know about?
So let's talk about the most obvious thing, and that is the scroll on the bottom of your screen that you can be watching right now. If you're pulled this up on My W Life, you may not see it. But if you're watching live, we have a scroll now. Catherine is our meditation teacher, and she teaches at 2 o'clock on Tuesdays. And she has updated her class so that you'll only have to type in the meeting code from now on. So she was sending out links, and she, just like all the rest of our instructors, like our Tai Chi instructor, all you have to do is type in the meeting code and you're entered. So anybody can enter, and hopefully it can open up her class to a few more people around the campus.
Okay, and so if you haven't gotten on Zoom yet, you're going to have to. It's 2020. Everybody on the whole campus is on Zoom.
Everybody in the whole country.
So that's right. So what do they need to get on Zoom, Colin?
So all you need is basically an internet connection primarily, and then you're going to need a webcam and speaker. Okay, so if you have strictly a desktop, that might be a little bit of an issue, but any smartphone will work. Any tablet will work. And then also if you have a laptop, almost all laptops will work. There are a few rare cases that laptops don't have webcams.
If you bought the laptop in the last 5 years, it probably has a webcam automatically on it.
Exactly.
And you probably don't even realize it does.
Yes. So it's very, very easy on any of those other devices. All you do is go to zoom.com, and the easiest way is to download the app, but you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. You can just click join a meeting. And if you hit the join a meeting button, you'll type in the meeting number. You see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. Don't type it in right now because it's not active, but you type it in about 10 minutes before you want to enter into that meeting, and you're good to go for the next hour or so with that instructor.
So download the app if you have a smartphone or a tablet.
Yep.
If you have a PC or a laptop, you got to type in the address.
Yep, zoom.com.
And so if you have any questions, you can call either one of us. We can help you. Plenty of your neighbors are on Zoom. Mm-hmm. We're using it for Tai Chi. We're using it for meditation. We're using it for happy hours on Fridays at 4. And plenty of people, as Colin said, are using Zoom across the country, across the world, to connect with each other. Are you Zooming with any of your friends or family?
No, not Zooming, just because we have video chat. You know, I mean, if people have, people do the iPhone, what's it called? FaceTime.
Right.
I don't have FaceTime, but our whole family has Galaxies, so we can do. It's not. I don't think it's called anything specific. It's just a video chat, and the video chat between Galaxies is super fast. Chelsea has an iPhone, so she does FaceTime, and her whole family has iPhones.
Right.
So we have two. We're two separate, but I can't video chat her. How weird is that?
That's the great thing about Zoom is Zoom.
Zoom allows it between
all mediums.
Yes, exactly. That's the difference. So,
right. So you'll hear people talk about FaceTime, which is strictly iPhone. People use Google Duo, which is an app you can download that's the same thing as FaceTime, does the same thing as Zoom, cuts across. And then people talk about Skype. Of course, Skype got destroyed by Zoom in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Skype used to be the most prominent video FaceTime program out there, and now Zoom has overtaken it. So there's many, many different ways that you can connect with your loved ones. Talk to your neighbors, talk to us. We can help you get it set up. It's no problem. And then I want to talk to you about the May calendar. It does look like our social distancing and our lack of group activities is going to continue through May. Today's April 27th. And so we're going to go ahead and plan on continuing this all through May. There'll be no May pen line as well, as the printer is closed. but you can access the May calendar on My W Life, which is exactly where we want you to do that. The May calendar is going to continue to be a TV calendar of everything that's going on the TV, and also it has the Zoom meetings and the access codes on there as well. So that May calendar is going to be a plethora of information for you. You can find that in the pin line icon on My W Life, and you absolutely have to be on My W Life. I would say you got to be on My W Life before you got to be on Zoom. Zoom's important. My W Life is way more important. So make sure you figure out how to get onto that.
Yeah, My W Life is even more important than Channel 732. So Channel 732 is awesome, and I'm glad you're watching us right now. But My W Life has all of that at your fingertips, at your disposal. 732 is based on the programming that Andy and I make. So My W Life, critical.
Yeah.
So we, as far as what's going to happen for this week, I also am going to be updating the May calendar. Similarly, all the fitness events will be on there as well. So look for that. Hopefully by the end of the day. Would you say we'll have all the calendar updated on the pen line for May?
Well, probably by tomorrow.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
It depends on how busy today is. Depends on how many of you call me today with questions and problems.
Gotcha. So we'll have that updated within the next couple of days, definitely before May 1st. So you can look at that. Also, just a good idea to turn on your TV in the morning, because each day it shows what's going to be happening through the slides. So if I'm not on there live, or if we don't have something recorded on there, you can just pay attention for 5 minutes and you can see everything that's going to happen that day on the slide. And many days you'll see a crawl down there. That's a little crawling words that will help give you some updated information as well. For this week specifically, we'll have, as I mentioned, our 5th cooking show of the I guess the lockdown.
Quarantine?
Yeah, the quarantine. We're going to do a presentation on Friday, and last week I did fitness myths. The second part to that was presentation on myths and legends of types of creatures and things you haven't heard about. So this isn't just like UFOs. This is some kind of lesser known myths and legends from around the world. So I'm going to give a presentation on that. Should be pretty interesting.
That'll be Friday at 10:30.
Friday at 10:30.
Every Friday at 10:30. You're always going to get a great presentation.
New presentation, absolutely. The cooking show is always Wednesday at 6.
And then, of course, if you miss any of that, you can always watch it online. We're putting everything online as well. So if you miss it live, you can go into My W Life under either the fitness icon. Sometimes it might be in the pin line icon, but mostly the Palms TV icon. You're going to see a lot of that stuff. You want to spend a little bit of time going through everything in there, because there's a tremendous amount of information going on My W Life.
Absolutely.
And then also, I want to remind you that next week we are going to have Open Forum live, same way as we did for April. So your May Open Forum will be on Tuesday at 3 o'clock right here on channel 732. That will be recorded and then put back up on My W Life as well, so you can watch that broadcast if you missed the live one. It'll be your updates from all of your directors. And Colin, last month I had so many residents tell us that was the best open forum they'd ever seen. Boom, 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 yeah. Boom, fast, 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 high level, no questions, move through. We did it in 30 minutes. And the residents, some of them were like, oh, I just love that open forum. It's great. So we're going to do the same thing again this month.
Sounds great. The only other thing that we're going to have for this week, it's a special presentation. We're calling it YouTube Gold. Okay, and this is this is something that Andy and I have put together that we know that everyone's going to love. So we're planning on releasing this Thursday at 6 p.m. to the channel. We will also put it on My W Life. This is a video of Andy and I watching the best YouTube videos that we both found and that millions of people have watched. And we're just getting them out to you guys, reviewing them. They're hilarious. They're intense, some of them, but they're an amazing collection of videos, and we think you're going to love it.
And you get to watch them too. So you get to watch us watch and narrate the videos, and the videos playing as well. YouTube Gold is really what this is. If we were handing out gold bricks to everyone here at Westminster Palms, you would want to step in line and get one. And I promise you, these videos that we have found for you are fantastic. Mm-hmm. Some of them are kids, some of them are animals, some of them are amazing, some of them are funny. I promise you, this video is going to be fantastic. This is a do not miss event for us.
Yeah.
Now, also Friday night, we had a great performance by Mr. Kelly Goodrich, who is a very talented performer from Royal Caribbean. And we found out that we had some sound problems with our laptop. And Colin, I figured out what was going on with it. Our laptop is designed, it's on a setting for speech, for voice.
Gotcha.
And so Kelly was playing the piano and singing. And this laptop is designed to cut out background noise. And so I didn't know this until afterwards. And so it was cutting out his piano playing and accentuating his voice. And then when the piano play would come in, it would kind of send the program into a wonky mode and kind of mute everything. So it created this boomerang sound. So you could hear a lot of what he was doing, but it was really hard to hear the keys. It was really frustrating because Kelly's so talented at what he did. But luckily, Kelly's wife recorded it for us.
Good.
From her video camera while he was broadcasting.
Great.
And so on Sunday at, I believe it was 5 o'clock, I broadcasted Kelly's complete version with all the sound issues fixed. And Kelly said we could show that as much as we want.
That's great.
So I'm going to try to find some time to squeeze that hour-long performance in so that you at home can see Kelly's actual talent and skills on the keys and hear him sing, because he's great at what he did.
Now, did we have a lot of requests?
We had about 3 requests, maybe 4.
Okay.
So not a lot. There were 13 people watching it on YouTube.
Nice.
And countless people watched it on TV. I don't know how many people watched it on 732. It's kind of hard to say because we can't follow that. But I know I got a lot of feedback, and a lot of people told us that the sound was an issue. But as Colin said, anytime there are real problems or a change, you'll see that crawl at the beginning of the screen that kind of updates what's happening. So during the show, I put on a crawl that said, "It's not your TV. We're working on the issues."
Gotcha.
So we do want to try to do it again once we get the sound issues fixed, because Kelly's just so talented at what he does, and he's so fun.
Awesome.
So look for that presentation sometime this week. We'll find a way to squeeze it in. And of course, it's going to be up on My W Life, so you want to go watch it there on YouTube, you can do that.
Sounds good. The only last thing that I have to talk about is we're looking into, during May, having a themed door decorating contest. So we're just kind of putting that together and working through the logistics of it right now. But hopefully it's something that we can put together in May and have a theme for it that will be pretty fun.
Yeah, that'd be easy to do. We would use stuff that's already in your room, and we'd see how creative you can get. We'll come up with a theme, and then we'll have some judges that can go from floor to floor judging all the doors that we have. So go ahead and be rolling that around in your head and thinking about what you could do to decorate your door. But that's certainly something that's easy we could do in quarantine.
Yep.
Another great thing that we're going to put together is sidewalk chalk art.
Okay.
Sidewalk chalk art. And we're going to do that around campus. We're going to have some of our very talented resident artists go out and outline, just like a coloring book, outline pictures on the sidewalks and in our parking lots and on the blacktop surfaces. And then we're going to give everyone chalk, and they can go out and color in the chalk what they want.
Wow, that's great.
Now, I know that getting down on your hands and knees to color on the ground may not be appealing to you, but if we can get a handful of people to do it, we can showcase the beautiful art that we have here, and we can give you something to do, and you can have something to look at on your walks around campus, because every day when I pull into work, I know I almost run into 3 or 4 residents because there's so many walking everywhere.
And that's great, and it encourages people to be in the sunlight, which we know is healthy.
Another thing we're trying to focus on with that is we want to try to put as many of those murals as we can behind Palm Center. That way the residents from the health center and assisted living can look down into the parking lot and see what they have. So we're going to be working on that and rolling that out this week. We're going to try to get the outlines down. And then once we get our outlines down, then we'll send out rules and expectations for everybody as to who's going to color what and how that's going to work.
Sounds great. All right. Well, I think that is going to complete our Westminster Weekly Wake Up for this week.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. And we will see all of you in the future. Bye, everybody.